was the record that Irma Thomas and Tracy Nelson and I made. It was a real thrill for me. I've been singing Irma's songs since 74, 75, and Tracy had been singing Irma's songs since maybe before that, because I was already listening to her recording Irma's songs and being real jealous of that. So the opportunity to work with both of them was a thrill for me, and the fear that my little voice was going to be buried under those big women voices was also there, but that's the miracle of the recording studio, right? And so we made this record, and it's called Sing It, and three of the songs, including that one, were written by David Egan, his keyboard player in Chile. So we got to use the great New Orleans musicians. Wardell was the horn arranger, Wardell was there. And Raymond Weber on drums, and David Torkanowski on keyboards, and Lee Zeno, Buckwheat's bass player, on bass, and just made an incredible album.
Good.
Nominated.
And deservedly. And deservedly, we might say. Deservedly.
It's kind of a copulation record.
It was a copulation.
All our favorites.
All right, any questions?
Yeah, go ahead. Take over.
If we have questions, for Marcia, not just general philosophical questions, but could you step up?
The new CD, I'll go ahead and talk. I'll repeat the question. I know about how that works. The new CD is in my head. It's in my imagination still at this point. So, but we're working on it. We're writing on it. I was hoping I'd have it out by this time this year, and I'm hoping I have it out by this time next year. But I stay out too much and don't write enough. Anybody?
Questions?
At 2 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Then the cabin will unload. Supply time might need you to stay over
I can't even hear that one. So what was it? When did we start?
The mic is going to come.
With the leg? I can't remember. At some point, I saw a picture of me still playing country music, still playing a real piano. So, part of it had to do with wearing short skirts and being wide open and not being able to sit like Jerry Lee sits, with one leg on each side of the mic stand, or the way Fats does it, And so, but also sitting behind or next to a piano, with a piano, and not being able to really fit under it, and not wanting to keep the piano between me and the audience. I wanted to be able to turn toward the audience. I wanted to be able to swing and move and have some action and some motion, because the other way to sit, with your ankles demurely crossed didn't really suit the situation. So this started happening, and I kicked one piano purely to death. The real piano, there was just nothing left but the keyboard and the harp, basically, and this board that we had to put under it that we kept scraping off. And then I heard later that Fess, and I saw him, kick the piano. He would kick the piano, and you can hear it sometimes in live stuff. And then Gould, Philip Gould, no, not Philip Gould.
Lynn Gould?
No, the piano player would kick the piano too.
Probably subconscious, and you had no inkling you were doing it.
Wait a minute, I got one there. I can't hear it exactly. Do you have children who play music? I've got drummers. But you know what I mean?
That doesn't count. No.
My son played drums in god-awful band, in the loudest, worst band, and I'm not saying that just because he's my son. I'm not bragging about this now. He played drums, and my stepson played drums. He's quite a good drummer. My son played trumpet in the high school band, and now he's in a jug band, and he plays whatever isn't being played. He plays some ukulele and some auto harp. My stepdaughter played some piano, but doesn't really play much anymore. So, no, I've seen kids. It's interesting about it. I think people are attracted to instruments or not. And my son could walk through the house as a toddler and weave his way between the piano and the organ and the other keyboard and everything. Never looked left or right, didn't care about it. And but I've seen other children walk into that house that you can't keep away from the piano. And they go, they're reaching up and trying to make noise, they're climbing up on the keyboard, and people are always saying, oh no, don't do that. Now what can a kid do to a piano? And they're not going to leave a burning cigarette on the keyboard or anything. I say let them pound it if they want, anything they want to do to a piano. I don't think they can do anything worse than I've done. Okay, so let's go. I don't know. I can't do it without. See this? I mean, I've been doing this. This doesn't have anything to do with playing the piano. This just has to do with my mother. I can remember from childhood going,
40 minutes.
be still. So, I don't know. I just do it.
We got a lady over here.
Okay.
Here, take this.
We did some gigs together. A couple or a few. James Booker, did we play much, or did I play much of James Booker? I work more with James Booker now because I listen to it a lot. But there's a funny story about playing with him at the Maple. No, we're playing at Tipitina's, and John Parsons, who took a lot of interest, took care of Booker some, and was driving him to the gig, and he was telling him, now you're going to Tipitina's, and we're going to play this gig tonight with Marcia Ball, and Booker was notoriously, I read this later, was notoriously paranoid about, people knowing his business and the government being in, watching him and everything, and apparently Parsons said, okay, you're going to this gig, you're going to play with Marcia Ball. It's Marcia with the CIA. And Booker jumped out of the car.
There's a woman here down on the end. Yeah.
Down here.
Yes.
What's my favorite CD? Of mine or of anybody's? Of mine. Do I understand? Of mine. I don't know. Buy Sing It. Buy Dreams Come True. The ones with Irma and Tracy, or with Angela and Luann. Blue House, maybe. Poodle. I don't know. I really don't know. They're different, but they're the same in many ways.
One more question.
Gator Rhythms. Gator Rhythms is the one that's got. It's the first one I wrote a bunch of songs for, and it's got some of the songs that people seem to have liked for the longest, like La Di Da and The Power of Love and Mobile and stuff like that.
Marcia, why don't you pick your last questioner?
My last questioner, Patty Ray. No, we're not involved. Lozona Rosa we don't have a restaurant in Austin anymore. Lozona Rosa was our folly, and it was great while it lasted, and we're recovering nightclub owners, and I'm very proud of it. It's more than a 12-step program.
Why don't you take it out with a toe tap, brother?